or an average leader? Or maybe you want to become an exceptional leader. Now, before you answer, think about it seriously. Do you want to be an average leader or do you want to be an exceptional leader? In this video, I am sharing with you over 20 years worth of experience in terms of the number one silent skill that people don't focus on a lot as it relates to becoming that great leader. So you're going to learn what this silent skill is, what this skill does, and how it helps to separate out the good leaders, which I would call the average leaders, from the exceptional leaders, like the ones that are watching this video. So if you are serious about where you are in terms of going to that next level in your leadership and communication journey, then I know you are trying to be an exceptional leader, which is why you need to watch this video in its entirety. I'm going to share with you information that will help you regardless of where you are on your leadership journey, whether you are at the very beginning, or maybe you are in the middle, or maybe you are at the end or more seasoned. This is great information for you to keep in mind as a refresher. Now, you want to watch this video all the way to the end. There is a silent skill, but I'm actually going to give you a bonus. There's two skills that actually work very closely with each other that I'm going to talk about on this video. So definitely get a pen and a paper. You're going to want to write these down. Now, if you're watching this video right now, this is the replay, and I appreciate you so much for being present and watching the video today. There is typically a time, a period in the lives where a lot of people join. And this is a live video, if you are wondering, it is live. And oftentimes people will come into the video, they'll say hello, I will greet them. So just bear with me just a few moments while I say hello to those individuals who have decided to join the video live today. Now, you may be wondering, how can there be one skill, one silent skill that can actually help you to become an exceptional leader? I would like to share with you a scenario for you to consider. Think about all the times that you have worked with leaders in the past. Is there something that makes them stand out to you? Put it in the comments below. Let me know, what is it that you see in leaders that you feel like is a very important skill that makes an average leader, which is good, to be an exceptional leader, which is why you are watching this channel. So I want to say hello to those of you who have joined. Welcome. Glad you're here today. Feel free to ask me any questions as it relates to this skill I'm about to share with you all that will absolutely help you be able to become a great leader. Are you ready? I want to say hello to Cash Rinker. Hello, welcome Cash. How are you doing today? Feel free to ask me any questions you have as it relates to communication skills, leadership. If you like this information and this content sounds very intriguing to you, then you definitely want to subscribe to my channel. I talk about executive communication skills and all types of tidbits, skills, tips, strategies that will help you to stand out from everybody else in the wonderful world of leadership. If you have any questions, let me know. Also, let me know where you are joining from in the big, beautiful world today. Let me know in the comments below so I can celebrate where you're joining from. All right, we have Stella Palmer. Hello. Welcome. I hope you are doing fantastically well today. So let me get into this silent skill. Are you ready? This silent skill is for serious leaders only. And I know if you're still watching this video, you are serious about where you are going on your leadership and your communication skills journey. So this is what I want you to do. The silent skill that will help to separate you from being a good, and I would say average leader is good, to a great or exceptional leader is being able to listen. Now, I mentioned to you at the very beginning of the slide that I have two. So you want to hang around for the second one because this is another skill you want to definitely be able to master as you are trying to become a great or exceptional leader. Why is silence or why is listening so incredibly important as a leader? Let me share with you why listening is so important. Listening is so important that helps you to separate yourself from the average leaders is the fact that you will learn a lot of information about what is going on. What happens oftentimes when I work with average leaders or good leaders, I would say, they're not bad, they're just average. they tend to know just a little bit of information, not the big picture. And the reason why they don't know the big picture oftentimes is because they simply do not know what's going on. Now, what I have found to be very successful for individuals who are trying to be those great leaders, those exceptional leaders that we talked about, is that they listen, and they listen very intently with not only their ears, but their eyes too, because they are observing what is going on in the room. When you're talking with your teams or leading your businesses and communicating with other individuals, in order to truly understand what they are saying, you have to really listen to what they are saying. So if you're trying to diffuse a complex situation, something bad is happening, really bad is happening, it's hard for you to be able to diffuse it if you're not listening, if you're not listening to what is actually being said. This will help you, leaders, to become a exceptional leader instead of staying in the good or average leader category. You have to listen as much as you can. So before I go into the next strategy that will help you to stand out as a leader, let me say hello to those of you who have joined. Okay, we have Casual Games. Hello, welcome, welcome. Glad you're here today. Feel free to ask me any questions as it relates to leadership, communicating, all those wonderful things that are going to help you go to that next level in your career. I want to say hello to Dana Bray. Hello, Dana. Welcome, welcome. Feel free to let me know where you all are joining me from in this big, beautiful world today. Let me know. We have Snowflake Play Roblox 12 Games Gotcha. That is a name, and I hope that I pronounced everything correctly with your name. Thank you for being here today. Let me know if you have any questions. Let me know where you're joining from in the big, beautiful world today. So we just talked about a skill that will actually help you be able to become a great leader instead of an average leader. And the number one skill that you want to have is to listen. You have to listen to what other people are saying, because if you're not listening, you will not know what's going on. You will have no idea what's going on. And I've seen a lot of good leaders, average leaders, fall in that category where they listen, but they're not really listening. So what does that look like? Oftentimes what will happen is people are listening to what you're saying, and this is what you'll see. So you want to know if somebody's actually really listening to you, watch this. Look and see if they are just nodding their head just constantly. Because what I've found is that when people are not listening, especially leaders, they are just nodding their head just to basically say, okay, I want to talk. And this is a great example of someone that is not listening to you. When you as a leader are in a position where you just want to talk and you want to be the one to speak instead of listening to what your team is saying or what's actually going on, you are basically blocking out your mind in terms of what's being said. You're not being open-minded. You're being a bit more closed-minded. And this, leaders, I'm sharing with you, is one of the reasons why average leaders stay average and great leaders become great. They listen to what's going on. So let me say hello. Let's see who else is joining. Casual Games is joining from the USA. Yes, absolutely. I'm from the USA also. Kevin Dobson. Hello, welcome. Glad to see you here. Feel free to let me know where you're joining from today. Snowflake Play Roblox 12 Games Gotcha. I said it correctly. Thank you. I'm from Billings, Montana. Okay, fantastic. I'm from the Sunshine State. I'm here in Florida. All right, fantastic. So let me know in the comments below. Have you ever had a situation where you have worked with a leader and you felt like they were not listening to you? Has it happened? It's happened to me many times. And I want to know from you, have you ever experienced this? And how incredibly frustrating was it? Especially when you know you're trying to share something with them. So I talked to you briefly about the reason, the silent skill you need is you need to be able to listen. Now we're going to go into that bonus skill that I mentioned I was going to share with you. Also, are you ready? The bonus skill in terms of, we talked about listening, but the other skill that I alluded to already is silence. Now you might be wondering, well, what does silence have to do with anything? Doesn't silence mean I'm not listening or I don't care? Well, my leaders, let me share with you, silence is actually one of the most powerful skills that you can train yourself to do and develop that will automatically, when I mean automatically, instantly help you to become a great or exceptional leader. The reason why is because when you think about people talking, and if I just stop mid-sentence and start talking, you would probably wonder what's going on. So if I stop right now, let's say I'm going to stop. Does it feel weird, right? It feels a little awkward. Where did the information go? Why is there no exchange? Why are we not talking? Well, most people, I will share with you, they struggle with just that. They struggle with not knowing what to do when it's time to be silent. They struggle with it. So, if you want to be that person that goes from average, the good leaders, as I mentioned, to great and exceptional, silence and mastering it is something you absolutely have to do. And I thank you so much for the emojis and the hearts and smiley faces. Thank you. I appreciate that. But silence is something you absolutely have to master because majority of the population are not comfortable with silence. Now, this is something that I work with my clients on in a one-on-one coaching setting, in an executive coaching setting, where we train each other, just like I trained you, to start to not be so uncomfortable with silence. Silence not only allows you to listen and be really present in the conversation, but silence also helps you to establish your executive presence. Now, there's many leaders out there that are in the good category, that are the average leaders I talked to you about a moment ago. The ones that are exceptional, those really great leaders, are the ones that are able to have an executive presence. Now, if you're wanting to learn a bit more about executive presence in terms of what is it, how do you develop it, then spend some time on my lives. I have a lot of lives here, so many lives that YouTube noticed that I did a lot of lives. And so they invited me to be on their YouTube live streamer research panel to give them feedback about live streaming on the platform. But spend some time on my lives. There's several videos I have here that talk about executive presence. I do have some older pre-recorded videos that talk about executive presence. So if you're wanting to know, well, what is it? It really is how you are presenting yourself as that best version of yourself as a leader that is able to handle very complex situations. You're able to negotiate a higher salary. You're able to start that business, do the big project you're working on. You can do a lot of wonderful, wonderful, wonderful things. So just keep that in mind, that this is what happens oftentimes with leaders. So Snowflake Play Roblox 12 plays gotcha has to go. Okay, well, thank you for being here. Bye. It's good to have you present. I appreciate you being here. Feel free to come back. If you like the information, feel free to subscribe. You're always welcome to watch the replay also in terms of the information I'm sharing with you so that you can become an exceptional leader. So I appreciate you being here. So we talked a bit about silence. So silence is something that I want you all to start mastering. We can practice silence here. So this is something I'm actually going to do that I do with my one-on-one clients. And if you like this, then feel free to reach out to me. There is a link in the description below that talks a bit more about how we can have a very brief call. It's a complimentary call for the time being where we just talk about where you are, where you want to be, and I'll help you gain some strategy in terms of how you want to move forward. So because silence is so important and listening is so important, and these are silent skills that you need to be able to master if you want to go from an average leader to a very great, exceptional leader, let's do a silence practicing scenario exercise right now. Would you like to do that? We did a little bit of one earlier, so let's practice another one. So let's say that you and I are having a conversation and I'm trying to help you to start mastering silence, okay? What I want you to do is to think while we're talking, how long do you want to be silent? So sometimes people say, well, how many seconds do I need to be silent? It's not a specific second. I can't say you need to be silent for 2 seconds. I don't want to say that. But I do want to say that you want to be silent enough to where there feels like there is a bit of a awkward pause when you're communicating, because that helps you, as I mentioned, not only to show that you're listening, it also helps you to establish your executive presence, and it shows the individual you're speaking with that you are truly a leader, because leaders are the ones that can manage certain aspects of conversations that other people can't do, especially the exceptional ones, which is why you're watching this video, and hopefully subscribe to my channel. So let's practice. We're having a conversation, and let's practice pausing. Able to pause and learn how to start pausing. Okay, this is an exercise. So if you're ready, we're gonna pause for, let's say you're talking to me. So say we're having a conversation, maybe you have a question. Let's say we're gonna pause for, let's try out at least 10 seconds. Okay, you ready? I'm looking at my timer here on my live, and we're gonna pause for 10 seconds in just a moment. We'll pause right now. Okay, that was 10 seconds. I looked at the time. So that was 10 seconds. Now, you may be wondering, that felt awkward, right? Doesn't it feel kind of awkward when you're pausing like that and you're just sitting in silence? This is the reason why many leaders, even good ones, the average ones, they do not do this because it's just uncomfortable. So you want to be able to master that. Now, there's a lot of things that you can do to help not only master your silence, but master your eye contact. I talk about this in so many of my videos here on my channel. So if you're wanting to elevate how you're communicating in terms of your nonverbal gestures, specifically with how your eyes are communicating, then take a look at my live videos. Listen out for my cowboy analogy. My cowboy analogy is the best way for you to start mastering eye contact. And you're going to need eye contact if you're going to become that exceptional leader. And you are going to need eye contact also if you are at a place where you need to listen and you need to be silent. Silence helps to establish everything. Being silent really helps to differentiate you from everybody else. It helps to showcase that you have mastered a skill that many other people do not. Now, because there's so many things I can talk about as it relates to silence, I want to give you just one more bonus, and I hope that everyone that is still here present, that you appreciate. I'm going to give you another skill that will help you become a great leader instead of staying at the good leader, average leader category. Are you ready? That other skill, now I'm giving you three. I'm giving you three today. Three today, because it's been over the weekend. I haven't had a chance to go live with everyone, but let me share with you the other one. The third skill that is not planned on this live for me to talk about today is to start becoming a better public speaker. Why? Most people are terrified of speaking in front of other people. They are scared of it. Even some of your good leaders, the average leaders, are very scared to speak with people in public. Therefore, if you can position yourself as someone who can listen, who can be silent and master that awkward feeling that comes with being silent, and become a better public speaker, you will automatically stand out from everybody else. As I mentioned, the same thing with silence as it is with public speaking. Most people are terrified of it. They don't want to do it. It feels uncomfortable. It's not something societal, in terms of society, that we just are trained to do. It just feels weird. We're used to having a conversation. So if you can become a better public speaker and master it, then you will automatically set yourself up as a great leader. So in this video, I have shared with you silent skills. I had it initially as one skill, and that skill turned into the bonus, and then the bonus turned into an extra bonus for you today. These are the skills that will help you and that really separate the good leaders from the great leaders and the exceptional leaders. And if you have watched my channel for any length of time, my mission here on this earth is to make you all exceptional leaders. And the way that you become an exceptional leader is by how you are communicating. I say this all the time. People become great by how they communicate. And if you can master how you are communicating, not only verbally, but non-verbally also, you will stand out amongst the crowd and everyone else and be just in a different place and a higher level than your peers. And if this is something that you like and you're listening and you're thinking, yes, I want to be that type of leader, then feel free to subscribe to the channel. I have a lot of great content here to really help you elevate how you're communicating as a leader. And if you want to go into more detail, and perhaps you have something custom a situation you have going on. Maybe you're trying to navigate office politics, or maybe you're trying to transition yourself into a promotion or interview for another role or a higher position, or you're just not sure of how to navigate your life in terms of professionally to really get to that next level, then reach out to me for an executive strategy session or a strategy session in the link below. My target audience that I work with is women in leadership, and that is my base. However, on my YouTube channel and many of the other platforms that I have accounts on, I have individuals that are women in leadership and men in leadership, and I celebrate each and every one of them just as equally, because I know if you're watching my information here and absorbing my content and spending time with me, then you are trying to elevate yourself as a leader, and that transcends any gender. Okay, it just does. I'm just glad that you're here, and I appreciate you for being here, and I appreciate the heart emojis a few moments ago. Thank you so much for those. Now, let me know in the comments below. As I asked earlier, have you ever had a situation where you felt like your leader, your manager, your boss, your supervisor, or the person you were working with was not listening to you? What happened? What happened? Let me know in the comments below. And then also, too, I want to know from you, what are some topics that you want to learn more about? There's a lot of information here on my channel. So if this is your first time or your first video watching any of my content, I'm really glad you're here. There's a lot of information that you'll learn from my over 20 years of experience as a C-suite executive, as a director, as a manager, a public speaker, and executive coach that will help you to fast track your career if that's something that you're interested in doing. There's a lot of information here. We talk about communication is the big focus because people become great by how they communicate. So we talk a lot about communication techniques, strategies. I deal with more of the, I would say, your more complex situations because I've been in very friendly scenarios and I've been in very contentious scenarios. So I'm very comfortable with challenges, if that makes sense. And if you are a leader and you feel like there's something that's going on, then this is definitely the absolute place for you. So I hope y'all are doing fantastically well. Let me know if you have any questions. I look forward to seeing you all in my next video.